call Creve Coeur School District number 76 Board of Education special meeting February 3rd, 2015 to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Linda Bailey.
Here.
Pam Greiner.
Here.
Brenda Cagle.
Here.
Rebecca Kern here. Valerie Reagan. Here. Judy Strong.
Present.
Julie True.
Here.
Thank you. Public participation is at this time. If you have something you want to communicate to the board, you may have this, your liberty now. Hearing none, we'll go on to a motion to enter into executive session, please.
Make a motion to enter into executive session for the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body. I second.
Roll call, please.
Linda Bailey.
Aye.
Pam Greiner.
Aye.
Brenda Cagle.
Aye.
Rebecca Kern, yes. Valerie Reagan.
Aye.
Judy Strong.
Yes.
Julie True.
Aye.
Motion carried.
We need a motion, please, to return to regular session.
Make the motion to resume regular session.
Second.
Roll call.
Linda Bailey.
Aye.
Pam Greiner.
Aye.
Brenda Cagle. Rebecca Kern. Aye. Valerie Reagan. Aye. Judy Strong.
Yes.
Julie True.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Okay, we have 8:47. Everybody in agreement on that? You're looking at it sideways?
Can you talk loud so the boys can- Seven.
7:47, thank you. I always look at it sideways. 7:47. On G, we're going to table that for tonight. So, Mr. Aldridge, we go on to discussion of items.
Is a motion to table, Mrs. Strong, or do you want just no action?
Just no action.
Okay.
Would you rather take action? Okay, so it's no action.
All right. Well, a while back, there were some site visits and some discussions and some walk-arounds of Litchfield building as possibility of reutilizing Litchfield building as the district office again. But there were obviously there were modifications that were done to accommodate Head Start, but so there's some accommodations that need to be brought into play to put it back into an office situation, utilize the building as an office again. So you can see the top is the floor plan as it is, and then the bottom is the remodel. The darker lines are what is being added into. So there's a couple walls, an entranceway, closet, a door near the back and then going into the superintendent office, and a sliding glass window for the secretary receptionist right there in the corner. The partial wall, yeah, so that we can buzz in. We see people who are coming into the foyer, and we can buzz them into the waiting area, right there. So it's just kind of cutting that little area in half, so that you have a breezeway and then a reception area. A little coat rack and some storage in the boardroom, some storage there. So these were
Must be the coat rack.
these were the revision, or not revisions, but these were the discussions and vision from various board members as we had site visits. It is discussions with our architect. He'll need to start the process of building permits with the Regional Office of Education and going out to putting the actual electrical and doing all the other additional things that need to be in the blueprints for the contractors. And then he can move forward with that, and we can get a construction project moving as soon as school ends. And so this is for the board's consideration. I don't know what else can be moved around or jockeyed, but it is it was a fairly simple plan. So it was just for the board's consideration.
Mr. Aldridge?
Yes, ma'am.
The new walls that you're putting in for the bookkeeper and the secretary, are those going to be solid walls then, or are they just so far up? Or?
Oh, they'd be floor to ceiling, but they would be the normal, just like the walls down the center. It's the temporary. It's not a full studded out.
It's not a load-bearing wall.
It's not a load-bearing wall, and it's not a soundproof situation at all. But you can see that there's, from the secretaries, there's an area there for the workspace before it gets to the superintendent's office.
Yeah, but the board's
There
not
is
set
no
in
wall.
soundproof.
Right here, it says it was.
That's the issues last, when the board meetings were over there.
These
You
are
could sit out here and you
I
could
didn't think
listen
there
to
was either,
everything
but
everybody was saying in
according to
executive
this is
session.
there, so I just didn't understand that.
Mr. Aldridge?
Yes.
To answer a question.
I hope, yes.
Okay, what is this? Is it a beam that's already there? 'Cause there's-
No, ma'am, all that is the measurements and diameter of the room.
okay.
That's all it is.
Now,
Yeah.
another comment, when we viewed this, a number of us,
Mhm.
the
Once we did it in the
entryway
past, it's everybody had to just leave and we
was
did executive
really a nice
session.
area for the secretary to sit instead of having a entrance lobby.
Still not soundproof.
And then, of course, this could maybe be a work area for everybody and a seating room. But this was almost perfect because of
I want to know if
the desks that they put in there.
Oh, yeah, that's
They did.
beautiful.
That's dark.
You're right.
Those
There's a
counters.
counter,
I would
yeah.
imagine
They had a
it's
half
gonna
counter.
stay there.
No, that's not ours. That's,
I know,
But
but
it's kind of built in.
it's built in.
it's not, it's temporary. It's just office furniture.
That's what I
So
got.
But I-
that is Head Starts. They'll be taking it with them.
Right,
But I-
okay.
Yeah.
When you consider this with the architect,
Uh-huh.
could you also ask them, maybe for a measurement of that in the secretary? It's already there, we'd have to maybe build our own, but this seems more applicable for that secretary entrance, is some of our thoughts. This could maybe be made smaller, and the waiting room, and maybe even, I don't know.
And then you might not have to put a window in
Work
here, because
room.
that's probably costing money to put these windows in a brick building.
Is that already in there though?
No, those
we're
are new
adding-
windows.
And windows cost a lot, so I don't understand why we're putting windows in all these places.
Because I don't want to be in a dungeon.
Okay, so if we left this door, because this is all glass, like you said, you could eliminate this and maybe one of these.
You have one, these are small windows. These are
They're
not.
still there, right?
Yes, yeah, the ones that are lightly colored
These
are there.
new windows, he's wants.
Those dark ones are new ones, yes.
There's no
Oh,
windows there
So these
now.
are already there.
All you have is 2 windows on that whole wall, the whole running wall. Those are the
On
2
the
that are
front.
currently there,
Right.
yes.
So we have these, so we
Right.
could eliminate one, and we understand why you want one
Even I think Shane's to maybe move his office went
A bigger-
over here,
yeah.
and it would cover this window too. No, he could have it, I mean, it's already
Yeah, then you
there.
wouldn't
I
need
thought-
that window.
When I went
Yeah.
over and looked at the building, I
'Cause
thought
he
we
would
had
have two
talked
windows
about a
in his
wall in
office.
front of that one window so that we didn't have to add any windows.
Right, that's what we were just talking
Oh.
about, maybe move his office wall, he would have a bigger office.
Right, so there's
And the
there's
secretary
one window then
here.
for that whole huge area. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
And
that's
that's-
this one and this one.
Bookkeeper-
No, that's,
See, we put the bookkeeper here
Okay.
is a thought.
all right.
And then this is.
Grab a pencil and,
No, I don't wanna mark it up.
well, we've got to because the architect's
Okay.
gonna ask me and I
Okay,
want,
my question is, are the children gonna have a place to go? Because I do not
Head
want to get rid
Start?
of Head Start. I am against that. I think Head Start needs to be in the community.
Well,
So-
I thought they were gonna come here, to this building.
Do we have room in here?
Yes, they said we had a room.
Where?
That's what I
2
thought.
rooms.
We only have one classroom now.
But they
only
need 2.
They're only utilizing one.
They need 2. They can't utilize the other one because of the door issue.
Right, so we're not eliminating any programs.
So do we need 2 rooms? Do we have 2 rooms in this school for them?
no, because they only want and need one room.
Absolutely. So then why did they supposedly need 2 before?
If they had another room, they didn't have the budget for another teacher and extra staff. Things coming on. They didn't have the budget, so they would have used those rooms, but they didn't have the teacher and the budget and the staff to put in that second class. So they would want one room here in the building. We have an empty classroom that we're utilizing for therapy right now. The occupational physical therapy room down. It was a kindergarten room at one time. So we have that room and for its use with Head Start. So we have to move some things around, but Head Start will be housed in the building.
Which I think they would rather be in the building too, from what you people have said.
I don't know what people have said.
Guys, what are you drawing over there? Because the way this is laid out, you've got where that office is back here is a spot to where it appears from where the crowd is sitting at this
we need to look at that.
boardroom. This is the furthest distance from where this audience sits, which to me is more private than
To have
moving
executive
the
sessions.
boardroom up.
This is what we're saying.
Over the boardroom.
No, they're not moving the boardroom, they're moving the other stuff.
It's the other
This
side.
one's gonna move to here.
We didn't even look at it.
This
I
is
don't
the
follow the rules.
so make it to the door. This is their work area. And this would be the secretary area and reception. So they would use where they have a chair and they're wait. So we're fine with that. The work area. This is the work area. This is the work area. Because we have the secretary there.
But then
And then you get rid of.
But did the secretaries look at this?
I'm sorry?
Did the secretaries
but
look
you're
at
kind
this?
of eliminating the privacy.
Because I would think that the secretaries would have more input on how the office should be set up than we would.
We're not setting up the office.
Okay.
Nothing's different.
We're not setting up the office. We're just saying if you move this wall and give him a bigger office, you could eliminate the cost of a window.
Oh,
And if you move this one, you could eliminate, how much does a window cost?
I would have the architect do it both
About
ways.
$1,000. The whole thing as it is, he came out with his top number was $60,000.
But where are the people sitting?
I could throw some paint up and move it.
It's already
That's a lot.
wonderful area.
Okay, where's the other secretary?
We've put a fortune in that building already.
I understand.
That's the reason to cut those windows out, that'll save a little.
Did you
That'll
guys,
save about $2,000 a window.
$60,000 approximately?
To install how many walls?
1,
So you
2,
have
3.
I would say move in like it is.
Well, you kind of need if
Move
my
in
mom
like
was
it is with two
superintendent.
great big giant.
It's all one open space.
This one's huge.
That's
space.
$2,000. Well, he needs at least put
I
one.
would put a wall up for the superintendent's
Yeah.
office, make that enclosed with a door,
Yeah,
and be done.
Well, personally, I believe,
And you have no private area to do a board
Okay.
meeting.
all right. He has to have an office. That's one.
It's just walls and door.
Well, yes, this wall's already there.
Don't even touch the back part. Don't do anything to the back.
Exactly, that's what we're saying.
It's no different hardly than what we had in the past. So nothing's done in the back entry. You've already got your kitchen. You've already got your kitchen.
Yes.
We extended that back wall a little bit because they took out that extra, so you got a little bit more room for seating. So you just adjust a little bit in the front.
I would have as much workspace as you need, because you need someplace for the board to go in.
We can't change the past, guys. We gotta
But he
change
has
the
a
future,
great
so
superintendent's office, he's got a great big table there.
regardless.
Huh?
$60,000 for a couple of walls
Is that
and
what
a
you
couple of
stated?
windows.
That you think it is?
No, not me.
He said that would be the
The architect said that on the high side, $60,000. It would not be any
It
more than,
is, and then you would figure it out.
it would not be any more than $60,000 to do this project.
And we really.
I can't give you exact numbers till we have a contractor
Can we
and
get him to give us
bidding.
And the windows.
any idea on
yeah,
how to
we're
cut it
taking out
and make it
those
less
things.
expensive and still end up with a good result?
I don't know what he's gonna, I mean, all he did was add a couple walls, you know, so. Well, that also includes running all of the cable and putting in the drops and all of that stuff, so you have that as well, because they're not run. You've got boxes there, but it's not run.
So Head Start doesn't have internet over there?
They have internet because they're drawing off of ours. They're pulling off of
I
ours
know that.
Wi-Fi,
Oh,
so that's how they get their internet. So.
All right, so
And you
you've
would
got
want
our
it hardwired
suggestions.
then?
No, I don't know what you, I don't know.
Well, no, we knew all about that.
I don't know.
Wi-Fi travels.
Mr. Allen.
we need to explain to everybody what you guys.
She
I
did.
did today.
Options, I don't know what are the options, I mean, moving here and there, and 2 feet here and there, I don't know.
This is the secretary. They have to hardly do
Okay.
anything to that area.
Okay, so no wall there.
Except the windows.
Well, if she's not gonna be there, you don't need that window there.
You want a window here for her to sit inside.
Okay, so she's gonna be in here,
Yeah.
people are gonna sit out here.
Not necessarily.
Just come through.
Just come through. They could sit there if you wanted them to. They could have two chairs there. And then this is your work area.
No,
No, it's
window there.
Have to get bids. You don't know how
Would.
much it's gonna be. It could be 20,000.
Stephanie,
Yeah.
okay.
And then this is their work area.
What do you mean work area?
Um,
Like the copier, the tables, the file cabinets,
yeah,
that stuff?
Yeah, because there's no,
Okay. There is one window,
There is one window there.
right?
Yeah.
I would rather have space between myself and
Well,
the
we,
secretary
okay, we
situation.
did give you more space because.
I don't need more space, I want there to be a buffer. I'm a loud talker.
Oh, so you'd rather have.
Shelley
the
up there,
bookkeeper here and the
The
workroom
workspace there,
Sure.
and then my office.
That would be okay, just
We
flip
have the
it.
workspaces.
In the middle.
Get it?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a
And
good
as much as you can
suggestion.
get it.
Because I'm a big talker, loud talker.
Yeah, okay, so the bookkeeper is here then.
All right, so
and
no window.
She gets one window.
Okay, got that, that's
It's
there.
already there.
This is
And then
Shelley.
you're gonna put a new wall up here and this is their work area.
Okay, so you're moving this wall by 2 feet.
Yeah, just to this door somehow.
Now's the
But you
time.
don't,
Okay. Okay.
that was just to give more room to this.
Because you're
area.
taking off, you're taking that
So
that
that you
side
get this
off.
window and we don't
I
have to
see.
get another window.
I would do one with, one
And
without.
then this window
Okay.
goes in, this one goes in.
See what the difference is.
And this would, oh, actually, this would be the door.
In the past, they said that they might want a different architect. Maybe we need to talk to them about that.
Well, that door's there.
Okay.
Now,
I know they work off of each other and I think they still have
sure.
So I don't know, do you want that little wall and the door
Yes.
between open?
You want that door there because you'll need that buffer for the board meeting and for people out here in the public, if they're sitting out here waiting to see me, you don't want them hearing, that's the reason to keep them in there. You don't want them hearing district business,
Right.
and so you need the door there at least.
Okay, so you still have that door.
Got 'em.
I don't know if they want a window up there between Stephanie and Shelley.
I can ask if
Well,
that
you might
matters.
even see how much of a cost it would be.
Well, you're putting a window in here,
Yeah,
we're gonna slide.
yeah.
Well, but the thing is, if you have a window and people are looking into that window, they're gonna see what's going on, so you might just want the wall up.
Okay, but what if your secretary's out there and somebody comes in? They're gonna need to be able to get to the other
A
people
buzzer
in
or
there.
something.
Yeah.
Okay, so we keep the two sliding.
If
Well,
the
don't just
secretary-
say, I need definitive, because
the
I don't wanna take this to
I'm one
the,
person.
well,
It's gotta
that's,
be the whole board.
then,
If
then
the
the
secretary
whole
is
board
out
needs to
now,
talk.
they can't get in, because they can't get in the school.
Because I wanna take this to the architect and say, Larry, this is what we want.
So I think the
Boom.
window can go,
I think it should stay in, because if the secretaries are out, people should be in the district office.
But what if Shane's in there?
Well, I don't know. Before, the doors were locked when they're, because, you know, like if the superintendent was in their office, the front doors were locked if the secretaries were gone.
Okay.
And you had to tap on the window.
And have a little buzz, yeah,
Yeah.
put a little buzzer there, that's fine, okay,
Okay,
so
what do you
keep the
guys
window.
think? Window, no window?
I don't know where you're talking about.
and
Because
it's
this
the
is not
only way.
like a group discussion, it's a little,
Well,
Well,
it should be.
I gave it
Well,
over there.
it's not.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
And like when they were at Homewood, you had to push the doorbell.
Yeah, you did, you did that.
Yeah, because they couldn't see you when you were outside. So you rang the doorbell and they came
I
out.
would say whatever's least expensive that still makes it a workable office.
Showing here.
Yeah, so it's
No frills.
Gives me no directive though.
Okay, well, they're working on it.
Okay, I'm just saying, I don't really care what this thing looks like. This is up to you, this is your gig,
for
so
protection.
I'm okay.
right?
No, she has a window. This will be the window. She would have instead of this. She'd have a window here, a door
Work,
here.
this will be the workroom, this will stay the workroom.
Stay warmer for the work area, yeah.
Move this over.
Yeah, they don't have heating
So
and
then,
Well,
Yeah.
that extra buffer for the outside.
Extra door.
That will help a lot.
One
buzzers
window.
in case she's not here, so somebody else would hear it. And
This
then,
Is this a solid wall here?
yeah.
Oh, you got, there's one door here, and then there was another, this was to be a cut door here to go into the superintendent's office for your executive session. So you got this one that goes into
Instead of that here,
secretary, you got this one that goes in superintendent, and you got this one that goes out. So-
So there's 3 doors, yeah.
two.
And there's one that goes out here.
So his, the superintendent office would be.
There were 3 there.
This is already there, that's already there, that's already there. The only thing you're adding is this one for the superintendent's office. Otherwise, the board's gotta go boop, 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 all the way out here and come back all the way in here. Doesn't make sense. You just go boom.
Well, actually,
So
the
you're
door's
suggesting executive
Oh,
session?
do you want any of this?
Office.
This-
Yeah, that way the public is there, we're over here, the public's back there.
This right here goes over here.
You want to save costs, we don't need to have shelves and, or, not shelves, but we don't need to have, just like little closets to put our filing cabinets and stuff.
Yeah, we get out.
You don't need them.
I don't know, some districts make them go outside, completely outside the building.
No, I'm just cutting costs here, because I'd rather have a window than a door,
Executive session
little
in
things.
superintendent's office.
Okay,
That way
then, you brought up a point.
Soundproof.
Down at the end of the boardroom, do you want cabinets, closets, or not?
Huh?
The
That's what this
boardroom?
is.
That's what that line is.
Oh,
So what it is it's built-in shelves and doors to put in your filing cabinets and have shelves for paper and office products and whatnot. Because there is no storage in this place.
well, your
Yeah,
middle room.
your workroom is gonna be there.
And we've seen where, when we have things on the end, lose the room for meetings. smaller.
The only thing I can see with moving the copy room wall is there's gonna be interference with this other door that's right there that's already cut.
Yeah, and just to the door.
So that's why it's
was
back
suggested.
here.
Just to the door is what was
Yeah,
suggested.
not past the door.
I understand, but you can't butt them up like that.
Have it open, you don't really need a door on it. So they can just go back and forth, why would you have a door in the workroom?
Yeah, that's what I said, that's right.
Maybe like a half wall.
This is big. What about soundproofing? I'm sorry, but when board meetings were over there, yeah, I heard every single thing that went on.
Well, around the superintendent's
Well, that's what you're talking about with these walls. They're not,
Because it doesn't
they're like the
matter
walls
what-
that are in my room now.
Soundproofing
They're
around his
that wide.
office.
Yeah, because that's where.
4
we were
3/4
covering
inches.
it.
That way he has his privacy when he's having his meetings, and he has his, and then board has their privacy here in executive session. Because I'm sorry, I
So
would,
check on soundproofing.
well, if you get rid of some of this fluff stuff, like these closets, I mean, you can put a closet in anytime, you can throw a,
Or you could just throw a filing cabinet in the workroom.
or you can throw a filing cabinet in the back of the boardroom. I mean, I'm sorry, it's not aesthetically beautiful, but, you
Or
know,
bookcases that they
it,
used to have.
it could be done.
Good idea.
But soundproofing, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Absolutely necessary.
All right, so,
That was my biggest issue.
no, I wanna make sure what we're doing.
You didn't have to.
Okay, we're gonna get the soundproofing in the superintendent's office.
Yes.
Board agrees? Okay.
Talk louder because your audience can't hear you.
Okay.
Soundproofing.
Soundproofing in the superintendent's office
We're gonna
slash
get a bid for sound.
bids for slash executive session room.
Yes.
Eliminate the closets and the shelves at the back of the boardroom.
Well, not necessarily, I mean, just, let's get some bids. He
Okay.
said
But
top
you
dollar
don't go right to
60,000.
bids, okay? Before you can get to the bids, you gotta know what the plans are. You know, that's how the contractors determine how much it's gonna cost.
So we
Necessities.
eliminate the closets back here, but not necessarily the shelf, because we can put just shelves. No, we can put your own
So
shelf.
we don't wanna put that
You know
out.
what I mean?
Okay, we don't want that for bids.
Okay.
And then Toby,
All right, what did
Toby
you,
works here when he wants.
did you decide about the windows? You had conversation
The
with.
one window for Stephanie and a wall for going into Shelley and the rest of the office.
And then we also have the window in that back hall in his office too.
Why?
Because there's no window, I don't know, there's no windows out there.
That one,
No, we
Does the door have a window?
said keep this.
And
Right.
keep that one,
that one stays.
and then keep the other one.
No, the door right now is a solid, fire door, so it does not have a
So
window.
we have
So you're
one
talking-
window in the superintendent's,
In the back of the superintendent's office,
a new
keep the window.
there.
So
Okay.
2 new windows and 1 wall, is that
One,
correct?
one window.
One outside window.
One outside window, this one.
on
The
back.
sliders.
And then she's talking about
The sliders are the
this
windows on the inside.
window on
Okay,
the
gotcha.
inside,
All
but
right,
not
so
these.
1 new exterior window, 1 inside wall, and 1 inside set of
Yes,
glass windows.
yes,
You still got,
2 inside walls,
yeah.
Yeah, 2 inside walls.
2 inside walls,
One.
2 inside.
2 inside walls. To create your work area in separation from the bookkeeper. Secretary stays out here. Sliding window, keep the window from
No,
Shelley to the entrance or not?
no, I think we decided a solid.
Yeah, they decide not to.
Okay.
They said a buzzer.
Buzzer, yeah, alarm.
no inside windows.
Yeah, there's still
Is
an
that
inside
which-
window.
The one into the secretary.
Okay, inside.
Going inside the
Okay.
door, she's gonna have a window and safety up with
So you're gonna walk in,
doors.
you're gonna see
A
the
door,
wall, the
window.
door, and the window where Stephanie's working. And you got a little room there. You walk into the breezeway. There's the wall, the door, and a window for Stephanie. The window here, you're not gonna put
Side window,
the sliding window
because we
in.
moved her.
Because you
We
moved her into that other area. Okay, we keep the door.
So it's not opening.
Right.
They said they didn't want it open
Oh,
for
okay.
privacy.
Oh, okay.
Shelley needs to be able to concentrate on book,
Oh,
and she doesn't need that
Not
constant.
people.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Like if somebody's coming and going and just dropping things off,
Mhm.
she doesn't need that constant.
Has to be
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It-
Interrupting.
Numbers needs to be.
I don't visualize very well. In the past, people had to take a spray can and spray the dimensions of something for me. I can't visualize.
Here, right here.
Well, you only have the one window, so you can't go too far.
Look at it,
I mean, that's about as far as close as you can get.
or you could go on this side of the other side of the door and the window, and that's part, but it's probably better like
Those
that.
windows aren't very large.
They're not very big.
They're expensive to put in.
It's a brick building.
Exactly.
Okay, could we have an option B? I know you can give architects, you can give option Bs of adding.
Options, is everybody looking at options? Do you want
Would you?
alternatives now?
Would you agree to put an extra window in the front?
Where?
Just as an
Where are you
option.
talking
What
about?
if they're only $500?
Where at?
Where at? An exterior window? Is that what you're-
Exterior window, yeah. Okay, never mind then. All right.
That was just one no.
No,
Yeah, I just
she's saying no.
You mean up here?
In the front of the
In
building.
the front of the building.
In the
Those
front of
windows
the
are
building.
very
Yes.
small.
Right there.
There is one.
There's one,
three.
there's two.
One,
One
two.
more.
One in the
Right.
superintendent's.
Right.
One in that room.
So they're getting rid of this now, they want to say, do we want this one back?
No? Okay.
And he interferes with the walls and everything else.
You can always do it later.
Well-
Well, while you're doing it, okay. I just
What's
thought,
your reasoning
The
for it?
workspace has no,
a bright, cheery workplace?
the
And it's
workspace
probably
has
for
no.
safety.
But then it interferes with your workspace
Not to have one in there.
Okay,
and your
You're gonna
walls.
have
So now
cabinets
you're gonna have to
and-
move your walls.
okay,
You're gonna lose more heating, more air conditioning every window you put in.
okay, that's fine. It was just an idea. I got it. I'm
I
good with
like
it.
windows, but
Okay,
I
I'm good
would
with
agree.
All right.
Too bad you couldn't make the windows that we had bigger.
That means you have to buy.
Okay,
have
do you
direction?
have direction or not?
So I'm gonna go over it again,
Okay.
just so I know. All right. We start at the front. Okay. So that everybody can kind of see. We're gonna start at the front. We're gonna keep the door and the wall that separates the breezeway from the secretary's space. But in that wall, we're going to put the sliding window. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Julie, you follow?
So far, you guys are the ones that you want, one person doesn't make decisions, so I need to hear more than one person's, please. I just want to know.
Yeah, keep what you have here.
All right, so bookkeeper's area is now we take out the window that was added, the dark window there, right next to that L desk. We take out that window. So the window,
There's already a window there?
there-
No.
there's a light one. Do you see there's a light window?
You need to say
It's there.
exterior or interior. We're
Okay.
getting confused on that, I think.
All right, there are no more interior windows. Everything is now exterior. All we have is one slider.
And there isn't
I
now
know.
one there.
Okay.
Is there
This
one now is what we're
Over
asking.
here, can I ask
Yeah.
that? This over here where it's dashed, what is this right here? Right now?
Is that a window?
That is, that is all a wall. What he's showing you is where he's placing these new additional things,
Gotcha,
okay?
gotcha,
So
gotcha.
this window's
But
gone.
that's a wall.
This one, yes, that's an
Okay.
exterior window.
Okay. no,
That's an
I got
exterior
that.
window.
I was
Okay.
just asking about that one
Nope,
thing.
nope, they said take that out.
I know, I was just asking about. never
Is there
mind.
one?
You know,
now?
and it's frustrating because I don't want to have to go to Larry 15 times to do what you guys want. So that's why I want to take a little extra time to,
Then I need
Get
to
it
walk
right.
over there with the plans and look at.
all right, we can have a work day.
No, go ahead.
I understand what you're saying.
Majority of the board, go ahead.
Well, we don't have to do this tonight, if you wanna go walk over there.
No, I'm fine.
She's been through it.
I just get the windows confused.
Okay,
Try to be-
Okay, go ahead.
next.
Okay. So, moving through moving through Shelley's area, you see that there is an additional solid wall being put in. We're gonna move that closer to the existing window.
Yep.
All right?
Yep.
So we have that with that wall in place. That wall will not have a door, correct? Because that's a workspace. Okay. Take out the door. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't want to drool in your coffee, Ms. Reagan.
She's got a list.
Okay. All right, so in the work area, instead of the new wall that goes past the existing window, you see the wall and the coat rack, okay? And the door that's now defines the superintendent's office is being moved forward to the other side of the existing window.
Yep.
Correct? Okay. It's not funny. I mean, I'm trying to get this right. So, okay. So, we are not using, or we're denying, or I don't know what you want to say. We're going to tell Larry we don't want that extra window there on the long exterior wall, correct?
Correct.
Okay? But we do want an exterior window by the exterior door that's existing.
Yes.
I actually think it'd look better to have one on the front and not one on the side.
Well, I understand why he would want it on the
I've already
side,
got one.
because there's no windows on that side, and he might wanna look out.
Or you
Does
might
that mean-
wanna glance out the window and see who's at the door if somebody comes to that back door.
And it's the playground that you're looking at anyway.
Right,
so
it is the playground.
he can, view the children out there.
Window
It's a
stays,
I'm
window
only one
goes.
person. I'm okay.
Window stays.
I think we should have a
Well,
window.
I think you should have one window, yes.
No, that gives him a second window, I think you should have a
That
second.
gives him two
Window here,
windows.
and a window access here.
But that's a little window.
Yeah, and there's only one
They're
that
this
big
wide,
window.
guys.
Yeah,
I think we should keep that
Keep in
window,
mind.
they are only 14 inches wide.
so let's keep it.
So add the extra window is what Val is saying. I'm saying, are you guys saying yes, add the extra window? Okay, add the extra window.
You want the
That's fine.
window at
That's
the
fine.
side.
Yes.
Everybody agrees
On
they
the-
want the
yes.
window at the
Yes.
side, back of the
Yes.
office side of the building.
Yes.
Near
Correct?
the exit door.
Yes.
Good. All right. Oops, sorry.
Where they have it.
There. Keep that.
Wherever you
All right. Move that
Only
over.
one small window on the front in the superintendent's office.
One existing window.
Right.
We'll have two windows.
I understand. Okay, so, next, moving on, superintendent's office, you can see that there is a cut to make a door into the board room by the board table, correct?
Yes.
Keep it?
Yes.
Yes. All right, nice.
Many doors.
Why?
Because he had a
Costs
good
a lot of
point.
money.
Shane had a good point, because if you have if you have your board meetings here, you're getting up and going directly into his office for executive session. You're not tracing throughout the whole building.
Okay.
So
You're
he had a
just
good
going
point.
to the middle room.
Is that door gonna be
No,
soundproof?
it goes, pardon?
Is that
And
door
you
gonna be
have,
soundproof?
that's right, you have
I
another
don't know.
soundproof issue.
Okay, I
You're
don't
just
know.
going
Never
right
mind.
here,
You're right, we can walk
Is that
around.
gonna cut up the office?
and it's not gonna cut up the office.
That's right, that way you'll have more space.
And it gives
Right,
him a
that's what I'm
moment to
saying.
count
Is
to
that door gonna
10
be soundproof?
before he goes back in, or us to count to 10.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I mean,
It would be nice to have one, but is the cost worth it?
okay,
Okay, eliminate the door in the corner.
yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
Not
And-
that big, guys.
Well, you have, well,
Unfortunately.
she has an issue with, she's not an issue, she has a good point that soundproofing is another issue.
boardroom. I believe I heard consensus of removing the closet and storage areas, right?
Yes.
Take out the storage? Yes.
Julie? Yes.
Good? All right. The last thing that I have, that I can see here, is sound barriers for the superintendent's office.
Yes.
All right, so that means a thicker wall here and a build out to the wall that separates the two rooms.
Yes. Make sure
Okay.
the doors or whatever, that door is more of a solid door, whatever it needs to be.
Yes, the solid door, yep.
And I know we put this, but if there is a bid on the window that's like $500, do we want to use the $500?
Well, they're right. I mean, you could go ahead and get the specs
Right, just ask them how much would it cost to put in that window?
and have them break it down as far as cost.
You know, if it's only $500, we might say, go ahead and do it. But
Well,
if
you
it's
gotta have
$2,000,
we gotta have the basic specs. And then if we
Well, let's go
see that we have a little extra money to add some of the fluff,
I mean, this is a
Frills,
walk.
then we
There's
could.
no
typically,
separation.
yeah,
You know what I
but
mean?
$2,000 for windows like
Well,
500.
but we're gonna find out how much the windows are right here. with
Right,
that
that's what I
one.
meant.
So,
See, there's no
so
door
we
here.
get a
This is
bid
just a
on
half
the
a wall.
basics, and then we say,
There's
hey,
no door there, so you
we
just
look
walk
at
right
this,
in
we
there,
think
and
maybe
then
we
you
can
come to the
afford a little
superintendent's
bit more,
door.
we wanna add
Walk
da-da-da-da-da.
It's
And then we
really
do.
There's not a hallway per
It's not gonna
se,
be
like
life or death, I mean,
walls on both
Right,
sides.
and I agree.
you get a contractor come in your house, you can change the.
Right.
But when we're talking about public bidding and public contracting, you can't just change things. There are process and procedures that you gotta go through if it becomes a little bit, if the money increases to a certain amount, then you have to go back and rebid. So we have to be careful about those things.
Right, but
Okay.
if it's another $500, could you add that on, or would you have to get a whole new bid on it?
Or can we take it off?
It will depend on what the overall cost is going to be. I don't think it's gonna be that much money that it's gonna matter. I'm just telling you, don't be offended if we have to come back and do this again.
Well, I'm not gonna be offended
Okay.
on any of it,
Okay,
I
but
just
when
want
you-
it done
Okay.
right the first time and get it done.
Right,
and-
me too.
When you
That's,
send out the bid specs though, can't you have like option A and option B?
like one extra window in
And they
there.
would
Yeah.
price accordingly.
I can tell the architect to do that, yes.
Okay, since we moved this wall down
Mm-hmm.
and we moved this down, is the storage area approximately the same size as before?
The workspace.
The workspace?
No, because you can see that this is,
Yeah, but you moved this.
but no, you move this to here to keep this window. Otherwise, there isn't a window. You'd have to go on the other side of the window for your workspace to be the same.
Because see, you've
There
got-
was no workspace before until we moved Stephanie to the outside.
That workspace here.
Mhm.
That was
but it
part
makes-
of this.
It was a
The
small space.
superintendent's
Bigger,
office.
so what's the difference? I mean,
You've got to have storage for all the file cabinets that are now down at Homewood in the basement here,
okay.
wherever. So I was just
They
trying to
couldn't
make
go in her
sure.
office there against that wall on one side?
I was just wanting
Of
to make
course, that
sure
might cover up the window.
Tell you what, with what we have in this office here,
that's going to be.
it's gonna be a squeeze to put it in here, with the way we have it, and you're not gonna be adding anything for Homewood. That's just not gonna happen unless you want filing cabinets lined up against the walls in the boardroom.
Does the filing cabinets have to go to the district office?
There are certain ones, there are employee records and student
Right,
records and
those.
those, and that's all we have. We don't have other,
They don't have extra.
we don't have anything that's, you
And
know.
the architect's gonna bring the sizing to us.
Right,
Your,
and I
your
would-
comment is you'd like to know how big it is, that workroom, and we don't know because
I should be able to.
before it was, two secretaries sitting there. So we have more workroom because one secretary is being moved out.
But we moved the superintendent's
Not
wall.
very far, just a little bit of a window, however big that is.
It's about 4 or 5 feet. It's about 5 feet. Is what you're adding.
I think we should go ahead and vote it
Good enough.
here, like this.
Okay.
It's not done, Dale.
I know.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is you want an A and a B, so you want two sets of plans, so you have an alternative bids. And we need Larry the architect to redo this, and then A will be no window in the superintendent's office, and B will be an extra window.
No.
We already gave you an
Superintendent's
extra
office.
window. There's already 2 windows.
I would just do it like it is right now,
This one stays.
Yeah,
for the architect.
okay.
Yeah, just leave it. This is good.
But somebody was,
Let's not muddy the water.
But then when he would let it out for bids, you could add that option. But you tell the architect, this is what we want.
Yeah.
And before he releases that out for bids, then you go, hey, would like an option A with
An
the
extra
extra
window.
window and B not, right?
When the bids next go out.
Right.
We're talking about an extra window.
You're talking about a second window, not
Right.
a
Okay.
second extra window, because you're
Yes.
saying extra window and you're
Okay.
Shane, you're hearing, take this one out or not.
Right.
No, this one stays by
Yes.
the
Right.
exterior
We're talking
door.
about Shelley's office,
okay.
right, Val? We're talking about.
No, we're talking about Shane, another window in Shane's office. I don't know.
Let's just send this to the
Let's
architect.
just, send it as
Like
is.
that, because you're
Don't
gonna
you
need wall
agree?
space, really,
Yeah.
especially in Shelley's for
Oh,
the
we're so funny.
Do we
Let's
all
move
agree?
on, please.
Yep.
Yes, it's an
Okay.
agreement. Let's
Do
go
you
with
under-
it.
do you-
I have what
are
I
we
have.
clarified? Okay.
Is
No A and B at this
you're
time.
letting me, if you're saying that what I have written here and what I've explained makes sense and
Yes.
is what
See if
is
that
agreement,
matches ours.
I will do this over.
Yep.
Or I'll have Larry do
Matches
it.
theirs.
It's all good.
I'll have,
It's all right.
More
It's
done.
most of it.
you guys want
Okay.
to see this?
It's the same. I did both of them.
It's like it's the same.
Let them look at it, but Shane, go on.
All right, that was H1. H2, Homewood boiler repair issue, safe school request. In your board packets, you have a picture of the inside of the boiler, or one little piece of the boiler at Homewood. As you can see, there's all kinds of sediment and gunk and buildup that is coming out of the tubes that circulate the heat. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Circulate the heat. All right, so you have these tubes here. Inside the boiler, there's water around these tubes. So these tubes heat up the air and steam comes in and they shoot the steam out to the classrooms. All right, that's what it looks like today.
Oh, wow.
What I'm handing you is what it looks like from October of 2014. As you can see, this is when they cleaned it. In October, it looked just like this. They cleaned it, it looked like this. October, November, December, January. 4 months later, you have your buildup. All right, here's our problem. The boiler inspector said these tubes are so thin that you're going to have issues and they will not certify it to be refired in the fall. They said they will not come out and start this boiler again. We could get another company if we wish, but they will not do it. All right? So what's going on is these tubes aren't supposed to have all this crud coming out of them. All right? All that crud's coming through these into the tubes because the metal of the tubes is so thin. So that the steam coming through is also bringing the sediment and everything else, and it just corrodes it. All right, so we have that is an issue. That is about 10 or 12 tubes. 10 or 12 tubes to replace those damaged tubes is approximately $8,000 to replace just the damaged ones that we see. The inspector warned me that this is a domino game, or a domino piece, because as soon as he opens it up, he cannot definitively tell us that we only have 12 tubes that are bad. He could open them up and find more and more tubes. As the number of tubes increases, so too the price. So, we have $8,000 for the replacement as it looks right now, and that is approximate. And it is another approximate of about $100,000 to replace the boiler. So, yes. Now, compounding the issue. Yes, they're looking at my phone. Compounding the issue is the fact that all of this sludge and sediment has to go somewhere. It's been going down your floor drain. As it's been going down the floor drain, it has clogged the drain to the point that our plumber was not able to get a snake down through it, the one that he has, just his industrial one on his truck. He's going to have to get some big auger to get through that thing. I have him coming out tomorrow to take another look at it and determine, is it, if we auger it out, is it going to be safe to flush out the water through the floor drain? Or should we just cut that out, the drain out, and retile? Alternatives. All right? So I will have that information at the next meeting. But I'm just letting you know that in a matter of 4 months, this is the kind of gunky stuff that builds up in your boiler, and this has been cleaned. The floor drain has not been cleaned out. Nobody can tell me when. So that's your issues. All right, so the plumber tomorrow, and he will be able to give me a little more information as to what it might look like. This boiler is running now. The inspector made it known to me that it could go out at any minute. If it were to go out at any minute, if we were to do an emergency repairs situation, he could not tell me what, he didn't want to even estimate what a cost to this would be. So, this is on your horizon. So I suggest that we wait until I hear from the plumber and see what that is going to entail, and then investigate what you need to do for this boiler.
And this is also the reason we had the fire department out of the fall, because there was issues with this.
The control panel in the boiler melted down because it had overheated because of the steam, the tube's not capturing all the steam. So it overheated, caught on fire, and let off carbon monoxide. So there's carbon monoxide poisoning. The fire department came out. They said it was at dangerous levels. We evacuated. That was back, you know.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
October.
So that is.
And that's probably when they cleaned it with the new picture.
Right after, probably. So that's what we're looking at the Homewood heating system. If it should go out and we do not have heat for the building, we do have students there that would need to be, we need to make some kind of other arrangements and figure that out, and then work on the boiler. So this is what you're facing. Okay. Any other issues you want me to investigate besides getting the plumber out to look at the floor drain.
Is there an approximate, no, not this way, never mind.
Anything else?
I guess we have to start with the basics. We gotta figure out the floor drain and then you gotta move forward. Right?
Hopefully it'll make it till the end of school.
The guy said it could go out at any
I know.
time.
Right. That's the hope, so that we could get to warmer weather
Right.
and then repair. That would be the best thing.
Or
Because-
replace. Would you repair it or would you replace it at this point?
He said that the boiler itself is in good working order. The cast iron and the boiler parts, it's the tubes and the heating elements that are the problem. And he said we could repair that, and that would take us, that would make it, put it back in operation. Yeah. So
Take us another 5 or 10 years possibly. I mean,
we'll say,
no
let's say 3 to 5, but yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but I mean, because the way these are corroding out, I don't know.
What do we want to look at? How much is it going to cost us? How much are we getting for rent? How much are we paying for utilities? How much we're paying for janitor? I mean, this building is costing us a lot.
And that brings you to the safe school request. The Regional Office of Education has made it known that they would like to enter into another agreement to have, to lease this space. They enjoy being there. It is a good educational area for them. It's central to Tazewell County, and I don't know if they can find someplace else. They've had problems in the past, so they're asking for the board to consider their request to enter into a new lease agreement.
Can we get some numbers on how much that building is costing us and how much rent they pay?
I thought we were breaking even on
Well,
that.
was 2 or 3 years ago when we started it, that's what we were
I mean, because
told.
we're paying all the utilities and water on it, and the janitorial, and now we have to pay for all the repairs. Is it really beneficial to us to?
Well, a
rent out?
landlord has to pay for all that too,
No, not utilities.
sometimes.
And
if they charge
janitorial.
enough.
Well, we're not charging enough.
Lease.
Well, that's what we need to look at. We need to look at,
Lease rent is not a lot,
No.
okay? Because it's a partnership with the Regional Office of Education, the way it was started, So, are
But we
you,
don't want it to sit empty either.
No.
No, but do we want it to cost us the district money?
If it sits empty, we'll lose.
We can because it has asbestos in it. We would have to abate
Because
the
of the
asbestos in order to sell it.
property.
And that would
I mean, maybe we
cost
tell
us
them to
a
pay the
ridiculous
utilities.
amount of money.
Maybe we can negotiate.
Right.
I think we need some numbers, what we're paying, approximately what it's costing.
I will put Ms. Cornwell right on that.
Would you please?
Okay.
All right, next.
Thank you. Illinois State Board of Education District Financial Recognition Report. I gave you a small sheet, but here's a bigger one. It's a little easier to read.
Yeah.
Well, when I pull stuff off my computer, off of iWAS, that's what it comes out to, so I have to rework everything, and I only have a limited amount of time. Ooh, there we go. And it's strong. Okay, as you will see, as you can see, our annual financial report data and our profile designation for 2015, based on the 2013-14 reports, is, drum roll please, we fall into the top category of financial recognition. On the back of what I passed out, you can see our historical data. 2013 to 2007, financial recognition. 2006, there was a review, recognition, review, recognition, all the rest of the way down. So, it is not surprising that we came in on recognition category this year as well. All right. So, we've done well. We, where's my, no, I have some notes that I need to find. There, okay. If you look in 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, those are the 5 criteria that the State Board of Education looks at to determine your financial profile designation. Number 1 is fund balance to revenue ratio. All right, how much did you receive? How much did you spend? You will know that the difference between what we received and what we spent was $5,770. Out of a $5 million budget, that is 1/1000th of 1% difference. The only reason we don't have a 4.0 and we have a 3.65 is expenditures to revenue ratio. I'm sorry, that was fund balance is number 1. Number 2, expenditures to revenue ratio. The only reason we're in the 3 category in that criteria is because you see the ratio is 1.001. We were $823 over the amount it would have taken us to get a 4.0. So, you know, to the State Board of Education, all kinds of expletives. Who cares? $800 was the difference between a 4.0 and a 3.65. That's it. So, overall, that that does not include, actually our revenue ratio. We did not receive one of our state payments from special education during that budget time. You throw that in there, and we would have been fine. So 1/1000th of 1% expenditures to revenue ratio is pretty good. Now, look at number 5, percent of long-term debt margin remaining. As you know, we have getting ready to sell our working cash bonds. So our long-term debt that's outstanding, you can see the total right now is $255,000. That's what we owe right now. As soon as we sell $1.3 million, that total is going to go up. So our long-term debt allowance is $4,059,000. So the percent of what we have outstanding as to what we're allowed is going to go down. And so we will not get a 4.0 next year in percent of long-term debt margin remaining. Just letting the board know to anticipate that, because it will happen. It's just a matter of the fact that we are selling bonds. Anything else on that? Just to point out that we didn't get to it at the regular meeting, but in the financial area, you have your financial dashboard that I append to all of the agendas. You'll notice that we're at 50% of the year at December 31st. We're at 50% of the year, fiscal year. And we have expenditures of 44.8%. All right. Now, so that that's not misleading, that is on the budget that was presented that had the extra built-in cushions, so we didn't have to go back and amend the budget when we had different costs come up. So we're at 50% on $7.1 million, the budget that was presented. We take out the $700,000 that I said was the overage, you go to $6.4 million. $6.4 million versus our expenditures at 50% of the year is 49.9%. So even on the target budget of $6.4 million, we are at 49.9% at 50% of the year. We're doing well, we're holding our costs, and we're holding it to the target budget, not necessarily the adopted budget, and we're doing well. Any questions?
I have a question.
Hoo-ha!
On this one, okay, so 2015, this is really for the 2013-2014 school year.
That's when it was printed off, February 3rd, 2015.
Okay, so this means that we got recognition.
That is correct.
Okay, that's all I wanted to ask, because I didn't see it on here.
Yeah, it's not on here necessarily. You have to take the total profile score, 3.65. You have to go to the formula book and find out what the expenditures and the revenues ratios.
That's why I was
We're
wondering
good.
what it was. Okay.
We
fine.
are we are in recognition status.
I mean, it didn't matter one way or the other.
Well, it does, because that's what I shoot for. So
Right.
we were only $823 away from having a perfect
Oh,
score.
yeah.
So, you know,
But it's still
if I'd have known
recognition.
that, I'd have written them a check. Or went down there and squeezed it out of them. So, moving on. That is our financial recognition report. Anything else? Any other questions? All right. H4, last item. The draft 2015-16 school year calendar. The proposed public school calendar for Creve Coeur School District 76 as drafted January 30th, 2015. That was when I printed it. That's not when I drafted it. That's kind of misleading. But the printed on January 30th. This is our standard school schedule. We have determined as administrative and hearing the comments from certified staff, we're building back into the calendar our half-day SIP days, our school improvement days are being built back in. What the complaint is previously, school improvement days were not structured, they were not used for professional development or professional activities. They were used for housekeeping activities, and it was not a school improvement function. Certified staff said, if this is all we're going to do, why are we doing it? I agreed. So we built them back in with the caveat that we will have scheduled and professional activities and professional development that actually mean something to our staff and our school improvement and our student achievement. We've already started working on some of the activities and some of the different areas that we want to cover in the coming year. The principals and I have already started working on that. But other than that, you can see that we start school on August 19th. August 17, 18 are the 2 institute days for the teachers. We move through September. You have your holiday. October, we have October 2nd is School Improvement Day, half a day. October 12th is holiday. October 23rd, 22, 23 are parent-teacher conferences. Moving to November, you have your November 11th holiday, and then your Thanksgiving holidays. You go to December, you can see a School Improvement Day on December 11th, and you can see the Christmas break starting the 21st, returning back on January 4th. School Improvement Day on January 15th, holiday on the 18th. Moving into February, we have School Improvement Day on February 5. We have a not in attendance day on February 22nd for observance of President's Day. Going on to March, you can see that the spring break starts on March 21st and runs through the 28th. We would return on the 29th. April, you can see we're in session the entire month of April. Going on to May, we move through, and you can see that May 20th is a school improvement day. May 25th is the Teachers Institute, the day before the last student attendance day on the 26th. Leaving 27, 30, 31, and June 1, 2, 3 as our emergency days. I'm sorry, May 30th is a holiday. That would not be an emergency day. So 27, 31, June 1, 2, 3, if we need snow days. All right. This has been discussed at the Labor Management Committee with certified staff, and so this is what our working copy is right now. There may be some revisions later on as we go, but this is our start for the school calendar for the upcoming school year. Anything else? Any questions? I'm sorry.
Half-day, sick day.
Yes, ma'am.
Would we feed the children before they go home or not?
Have you done that in the past?
We've done it both ways.
Depends on what time we send them home.
Well, it's a half day is 11 o'clock Parkview and 11:30 at LaSalle. So that doesn't fit into the lunch time, the regular lunch schedules at either of the schools. So the reason is because if we go further into the day, you don't have, Parkview is done at 2:45, and teachers are able to leave at 2:15, or 3:15, I'm sorry. So if we push into and we don't send kids home until 12 and 12:30, there is no time for our school improvement day. So,
Just worry about some of our kids not getting
I agree.
lunch. Also, did anybody check on the attendance when we did a half a day? And I'm just wondering, do parents keep their kids home, don't send them?
You know, if you're concerned over a child not having a lunch, could a sack lunch be something we talk about to send home with them?
No, because we have, you know, some school food service programs are very strict on those kind of issues. So it's not like we can just pack a peanut butter sandwich and send them on their way. We've got things that would have to be considered. And I can't sit here and say we can do it or we can't. So
So it might be something community center needs to
I just thought it'd
be asked. Yeah.
it's a concern. I agree.
Do we know how close this calendar is to the high school calendar?
That's what I was gonna ask.
Peak and Annie's Building.
The high school calendar, the high school will start earlier than we do, obviously. They start and have their freshman orientation days and their teacher institutes. I believe they're going to have 14, 15 is their institutes, and so they will start on the 17th rather than the 8th, 17th, and 18th. We have teachers institutes, and they will then end a couple days sooner in May.
How about the breaks?
The breaks are, if they're not the same, they're very close. Yeah.
That's usually the concern.
I mean, there's only so much play you have in these things, so.
When's Easter?
That would be March
Is it March
22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th.
Because in the
So
past, they've had a
27 would be
spring break when they had Easter
day.
break, so I didn't know if they were doing that.
If we did that, we would be pushing school attendance days into June.
Okay. Yeah,
Well into
that's,
June. I don't think anybody was,
and I think it's
Thinking of that.
starting to be.
Yep. April's just gonna be a really long month without a break though.
What is?
Staff, April. There are
Might be
no,
good. So we
no
don't
days
That's
off
the
in
fun
April.
time of the year
So
anyway.
we
yeah.
can teach them. It'd be good.
well, we gotta figure that there's the times in there for the new testing and when that's gonna fall. So we don't know if that will be in March or if that will be pushed after spring break. So April is there for the testing windows. That is the only consideration there, but it's a guess right now. So if the state board releases next year's testing window, we could make adjustments. That's why it says draft, or proposed, sorry.
All right, motion for adjournment, please.
A second.
Roll call, please.
Whoops, roll call.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn. Who made it? I didn't hear.
This is true seconded, but.
Mrs. Cagle made the motion. Linda Bailey,
Aye.
Pam Griner,
Aye.
Brenda Cagle. Aye. Val Reagan. Aye. Judy Strong,
Yes.
Julie True.
Aye.
Motion carried.